Back in February last year, India did not order a single tanker with Russian oil. A year after the start of Russian full-scale invasion of Ukraine and the imposition of Western sanctions, the Federation has become the largest supplier of crude oil to India at about 1.8 million barrels per day. India explains the purchase of Russian oil by the need to fight inflation. On February 24, during G20 finance ministers meeting in Bangalore, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi made another video call to politicians to focus not on war, but on economic assistance to developing countries.
You represent the leadership of global finance and economy at a time when the world is facing serious economic difficulties. The COVID pandemic had delivered a once-in-a-century blow to the global economy. Many countries, especially developing economies, are still coping with its after effects. We are also witnessing rising geopolitical tensions in different parts of the world.
From the first days of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, India has declared neutrality and refuses to join Western sanctions. The country also abstained during several votes in the UN General Assembly. Last March for a resolution condemning Russia's aggression against Ukraine, and in October for a document condemning Moscow's annexation and occupation of Ukraine territories.
Никакого чуда не случилось.
No miracle happened, although on the eve there were some attempts on the part of our government and our diplomacy to persuade Delhi to side with Ukraine, but this did not happen. Delhi really doesn't like when they are under pressure, when they are strongly asked for something, influenced and so on. And of course, all this is happening now, because in addition to Ukraine, our partners are also asking to change their position, which at the same time are partners of India, say countries such as United Kingdom, USA, which are India's strategic partners.
India will continue to cooperate with Russia and with the countries of the West, proceeding only from the economic benefit for its country. At the same time, India wants to act as a representative of the interests of the global South and be a mediator in case Russia and Ukraine sit down on the negotiation table. And as a chair of the G20 this year, it offers a peculiar format for negotiations.
Что такое тройка G20?
What is the G20 trio? Is the country currently chairing is India. Last year it was Indonesia and next year it will be Brazil. Since all three countries are countries of the so-called countries of the global south and are not NATO countries and so on, it is believed that this format can be acceptable to both parties.
In 2023 in Europe, 38% of the population believes that the war should end with the victory of Ukraine, namely the occupation and the return of all territories. These are the results of a joint study by the think tank European Council of Foreign Relations and Oxford University. Respondents were about 20,000 people around the world. At the same time, the results of the survey in China, Turkey and India gave a different result. For example, 48% of the inhabitants of Turkey expressed their desire to end the war as soon as possible, and the majority of the respondents in India, 54%, are in favor of an early end to the war, even at the cost of territorial concessions.
Almost a third of people in both these countries, Turkey and India, would prefer Ukraine to regain all of its territory, even if it means a longer war or more Ukrainians being killed and displaced, from a joint study by the European Council and the University of Oxford.
According to experts, the Russian-Ukrainian war is inconvenient for India. Therefore, at the beginning of his chairmanship of the G20 in December 2022, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi put this war in the first place among the challenges facing the organization. President of Ukraine Volodymyr Zelensky said at a press conference on February 24th that he and his team are working to ensure that the peace formula developed by Ukraine is supported by the countries of the global south.
We work to have representatives from different countries. We are working to ensure that Latin America is represented. I would very much like, and we are taking such steps, that representatives of the large African continent be involved in the formula of peace. I would also like to visit India and China. Yes, and it's true. Our task is to attract absolutely everyone and show the world. Here it is: respect for territorial integrity, the UN Charter, for life and the right of people to live.
Reported by Henry Keane and Natalia Belakudria for UATV News.